Hello everyone, welcome to Change to Progress. If you are new here, you are most welcome. This is a space for stories that make you pass, think, and see your life differently. Because sometimes one story can change a thought, one thought can change a decision, and one decision can change your life. So, before we begin, ask yourself one question. What if this story is actually about me? Stay with me until the end because you may discover a lesson that your life is trying to teach you. Let's begin. He had only 100 rupees left. That was all the money he had. No job, no savings, nothing to eat that night. Then an old man came to him and asked, Son, can you help me? What happened next changed his life forever. The man with nothing. His name was Ravi. Ravi worked as a daily wage laborer in a small town. Every morning he searched for work. Some days he earned rupees 500, some days nothing. That evening Ravi had worked for only a few hours. He was paid rupees 100. He put the money carefully into his pocket. He had not eaten since morning. On the way home, he stopped near a small roadside food stall. He looked at the hot food. His stomach graveled. He reached into his pocket, rupees 100. He was about to buy a dinner. Then he heard a voice. Son, Ravi turned around. An elderly man was sitting alone on the roadside. His clothes were torn, his face was tired, and his eyes were filled with hunger. The decision, the old man quietly asked, Do you have something I can eat? Ravi looked at his rupees 100. He was hungry too. For a few seconds, he stood silently. Then he walked toward the food stall. He bought two meals. He gave one to the old man and kept one for himself. The old man smiled. Thank you. Ravi sat beside him. They ate together. For the first time that day, Ravi felt strangely peaceful. The next morning, Ravi returned to the same street, but something strange happened. A large construction company had arrived in a town. They were looking for workers. Ravi stood in the queue. Hundreds of people were waiting. One by one, people were interviewed. Finally, Ravi's turn came. The manager looked at him. Do you have experience? Ravi nodded. Yes. Can you work hard? Ravi smiled. I have been doing that my whole life. The manager smiled. You are hired. The twist. Ravi was given a job, but that was not the surprising part. During lunch, the company owner walked through the workers. Suddenly, he stopped. He looked at Ravi. Then he asked, Where did you meet my father? Ravi was confused. Your father? The owner pointed toward an old photograph hanging inside the office. Ravi froze. It was the old man from the previous evening. The owner said, My father left home yesterday morning. We have been searching for him. Ravi could not believe it. The real reward. The owner thanked Ravi, but Ravi said, I did not help him because I expected anything. I simply knew what hunger felt like. The owner looked at him for a long moment. Then he said, That's exactly why I want you working with me. Ravi eventually became a supervisor. Years later, he started his own small business, but he never forgot the rupees 100. He kept 100 note framed on the wall of his office, not because it made him rich, but because it reminded him of the day he discovered something more valuable than money. The lesson. Sometimes we think we need more money, more opportunities, more luck before we can help someone, but kindness, does not always require wealth. Sometimes you can give even when you have very little, and sometimes the thing you give away is not actually lost, it becomes part of the person you become. Think about this. When was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return? Maybe it was just a meal, a kind word, a phone call, or simply being there. Never underestimate a small act of kindness. You may forget it tomorrow, but someone else may remember it for the rest of their life. If you believe that kindness still matters, command, kindness always come back. Share this story with someone who has a kind heart and subscribe to Change to Progress, because sometimes one small decision can change an entire life. You don't need to be rich to give. You only need a heart willing to share. Thank you so much.